Now we are going to learn about inheritance with the gametes and the fertilization. Okay. So basically gametes are the reproductive cells of an organism. To reproduce the next generation, we need some reproductive cells, right? So that are called the gametes. So in human beings, we have sperm in male and egg or ovum in female. Okay. So these are our reproductive cells in both male and female. Got it? So egg cell is larger and contain food to nourish the embryo. So you know that in human beings, the embryo will be growing inside the belly, right, in the uterus, and the gestation period is around 9 months. So the egg cell is larger. Okay, that is why the egg cell is larger because it has to carry the baby and it contains food to nourish the embryo. So if that embryo has to grow, it should get enough nutrients, right? So that is why they carry nutrients. And sperm cell is smaller and has many mitochondria for move. So during fertilization, the sperm and the egg fuse into form zygote. So the sperm plus the egg, the ovum will form the zygote, right? So gametes are produced by meiosis. So there is a process called a meiosis. So what is the process of meiosis? Why we need meiosis? Any idea? So basically, meiosis is a specialized two-stage cell division, right? It is a process in the sexually reproducing organism that reduces the chromosome number by half, right? And producing four genetically diverse haploid gametes, sperm or egg cells, from one diploid parent cell. Okay, so they are haploid, right? Contain one set of chromosomes. So human gametes have 23 chromosomes, right? It's not 46 like the diploid cell. So if it is 46, the baby will get 46 from mother and 46 from father. So that chromosome number will be different, right? So we don't want that. That is why we have the process called the meiosis. So human gamete will only have 23 chromosomes. Okay. So each gamete carries one allele for each gene. So like we have different characteristics, right? Eye color, hair type, hair color, finger shape. In each and every body part, we have a unique thing, right? So that is because of this gene. Okay, the gene will carry your genetic information, right? So the gamete. So the gametes are carrying your information. These genes will show which kind of characters will you be showcasing, right? Maybe your father has dark eye shade, your mother has light eye shade. So which character getting dominant in your gamete or in your gene, that will be your trait. Okay. So the allele can be dominant, recessive, or codominant, right? Like I mentioned about eye color, the dominant color will be visible, the recessive will not be visible. And sometimes both will be coexist, right? In some cases, we can see that also. So now let's check the shape or the diagram of the sperm. So this is the sperm cell. Okay. So what is the parts of a sperm cell? So basically we have a tail, right? A long tail. So that is called a tail or flagella, right? Then we have the cytoplasm. Then we have packed the mitochondria here. We have multiple mitochondria, right? And then we have a nucleus. Then we have the cell membrane and a chromosome. Okay. So from this part to this part, it is called as head, right? And from this part to this part is called the midpiece. And this part is called the tail part. Okay. So these are the parts of a sperm. And now we have the egg cell or the ovum. Okay. This is the female reproductive cell. So a lot of things we can also see here, right? We have the follicle cells, we have mitochondrium, we have cell membrane, we have zona pellucida, and we have yolk droplets, we have a nucleus, and also the cytoplasm, right? So the fusion of gametes form a diploid zygote. So one, it is from like when you check it in the time of fertilization, from male and from female, or from mother and father, you will be getting a haploid found, right? And will be there. So once the fertilization is occurring, this will combine and again become diploid. That is 12. Okay. So the zygote has two alleles for each gene. So whatever be the characteristic, for example, you can go on with the example of eye color. Your mother has blue eye and your father has brown eye. Okay. So if blue eye is dominant, your the baby will have the blue eye. And if the brown eye is dominant, the baby will have brown eye. Okay. So zygote has two alleles. For each characteristics, it will have both alleles from father and mother. Okay. So these alleles may be the same or different. So sexual reproduction involves fusion of nuclei of two gametes. So the nuclei of two gametes, you can see we have the nucleus for egg cell and also we have a nucleus for sperm, right? So both of these nucleuses will be fusing in the gametes, okay, at the time of sexual reproduction. So sexual reproduction involves fusion of nuclei of two gametes. It produces genetically different offspring. So you can check if you have siblings, like even though the parents are the same, you and your siblings may not look like 100% similar, right? You will have your own differences. Okay. So that is because of this genetic distribution. Okay. So fertilization is the fusion of gamete nuclei. Okay. So what is fertilization? It is the fusion of gamete nuclei. So gametes come from different parents, so variations can occur, right? So that is the specialty of sexual reproduction, right? There will be variation. So when gametes fuse their chromosomes, combine. Okay. So the gametes fuse their chromosomes, combine, and the zygote become diploid. So when the gamete fuses, right? After the fertilization, the gamete will be fusing, right? The chromosome will combine. As a result, zygote become diploid with the two sets of chromosomes. Okay, two sets of chromosomes. And the zygote has two chromosomes of each type. Okay, so the zygote has two chromosomes of each type. And homozygotes means two identical alleles. And heterozygous means two different alleles. So homo and hetero, the common thing, right? So homozygous means two identical alleles. Like for eye color, if both your father and mother is having blue colored eye, these are homogeneous alleles. And what do we mean by heterogeneous allele? One brown and one blue, or one like green or black, something like that. So it will be different for the same character. Okay, so this is how the gametes will work in the time of fertilization. So basically, both in human body, we have like 46 chromosomes, that is 23 uh, set, right? And at the time of gamete formation through meiosis, it will be split, and only uh, N, that is 23. Okay, we don't have 2N at the gamete. So after fertilization, the zygote will again have the diploid. Okay, so that is how it works.